Scott, we have talked before about Vladimir Putin. Just as we hear about neoconservatives in this country, I have labeled Putin a neo-Soviet. Is that an accurate shorthand label for the Russian president?
In some ways, yes, JD, because although Putin might not be concerned with restoring Russia to the grandeur of the Soviet Union in its entirety, one thing he is very interested in, as are the Russian people, from whom he draws a lot of support, what he's interested in is restoring Russian prestige. Okay, one thing maybe we as Americans sometimes fail to appreciate is the feeling of humiliation that even the average Soviet citizen felt when his country fell down around his ears. And it's something that we've always underestimated, and we need to at least understand that is part of the Russian character as a way of better dealing with them.
Well, let's talk about our current dealings, and specifically all the spin and all the talk and all the attention about the alleged Russian hacking into DNC headquarters. There's a huge political component to this, Scott, which suggests an either or. Either the Russians did it or they didn't. But in past conversations, you've seemed to suggest that, well, the Russians have always been involved, or been involved for a long time, in cyber espionage. And so while there might be a political component, it's not necessarily the spin we're getting from the defeated Democrats from the November election and their cheerleaders in the partisan press. Where do you come down on it today?
It's a very good question, JD. You know, I've always said, you know, Russia, I've worked against them my entire career. You know, the Russian espionage threat is real, and it's been around for, well, it never basically went away at the end of the Cold War. It's been around all of the time. So while I applaud, you know, the Obama administration's recent mass expulsions of Russian diplomats, my reaction is this is coming at a very late date, at the 11th hour. This should have been done many years ago. And the present controversy regarding the hacking of the election is really a mass distraction, I think, on the part of the Democrats, who want to deflect attention and blame for their humiliating loss at the hands of the Republicans by saying that it's Russia's fault. And I wholeheartedly reject that. Was Russia perhaps trying to interfere in the election? Yes, I would say that that's likely true, as Russia has continually tried to interfere in the United States to some degree or another. Right before I came on, we were listening to Mr. Khrushchev, who was the leader of the Soviet Union in the early 60s and late 50s, and he sought to affect the election, and because he preferred Kennedy over Nixon, for example. So they've always tried to do this. What is unique now is the fact that for once they were able to perhaps have a little bit more of an effect because of the massive moral failings of one of the candidates, also known as Hillary Clinton.